what we doing, ain't nowhere around. Started from the ground, always gotta hold it down. Now they think they got it, cause they sign up on a data. But there's only so much money in the year that is allotted. Plus you probably don't even know how it is divided.
What's up, people of YouTube? This is Troll here, bringing you guys something a little bit different on my channel today. And today I'm going to be bringing you guys a FarCry Primal review. I haven't done a review over a video game or really anything in quite a while, so this is pretty exciting for me. I really like to do game reviews and give my opinions on things like this, so yeah, it means a lot. At this point in the game, which you are watching, I have played through essentially the entire game. The campaign is done, and I'm like at 90-some% of platinuming the game. So I put a lot of time into the game. I bought the game, and then within about 2 days, I had done essentially everything that I wanted to do. So that can either be a negative or a positive for you guys, depending on how you look at it. I feel like going into this game, a lot of people who are fans of the Far Cry series were not really sure about this, and I was one of those people too. I looked at it and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. I don't know how much fun this is really actually gonna be. This whole setting seems weird, but honestly, I feel like this game ended up being better than Far Cry 4. There has been some talk about how they used the same map for Far Cry 4 and Far Cry Primal, and I think that that's true just based off of the way things are laid out. Now, it doesn't mean it's true. It could just be a similar layout in terms of where the snowy areas of the map are and things like that. So I don't know for sure if that's true, but with that being said, if they use the same map and they just kind of reskinned it, they reskinned it really well. I think that Far Cry Primal is extremely pretty. It is one of the best looking Far Cry games ever. I mean, it's right there with 3 in terms of graphics, in my opinion. And then another feature that you guys all know about that was added into this game really changed the way the game plays, and that's the having a saber-toothed tiger or any predator at your side. You can make them yours, and I feel like that's a really big important part of the game. Being able to tame animals and send them after people when you are doing outposts or help missions and things like that is really, really useful, and I think it added a whole nother dimension to the game that made it much more enjoyable. So I feel like that was a definite plus. So in terms of the negatives, I don't think that they did a very good job with the story. The story wasn't bad by any means. It was a good concept. It's just it wasn't memorable. So for example, if you think back to Far Cry 3 and 4, those stories were pretty memorable. More so 3, the enemies were more memorable, not as much 4, but it was still there. And this game just doesn't really have that at all. All the side missions that you do, besides the Help Wenja quests, all the side missions that you do are story missions, and so it feels kind of weird. One thing that I like that is in the game, and I hope that they bring this to future Far Cry games, is I like how much they pushed you to craft things. So I feel like there was like almost none of this in 4 for whatever reason, but in this game I really like how they try and get you to hunt rare animals, and finding rare animals can be really, really tough. And I think that's a really good part of the game, and I hope that they build on that. I gotta say that this one and 3, but more so this one, felt like a kind of like an RPG. And so I kind of hope that they keep that element and maybe make it a little bit more advanced. I think that's really fun, and that keeps my interest in the game a lot longer. I mean, being able to build upon your gear, maybe adding some sort of customization to the game, I feel like that would make it really, really fun. Hunting different animals, hunting different kinds of the same animal, different colors of the same animal to do different things with your clothing. I feel like that's a pretty important part of the game. So overall, I feel like the gameplay mechanics in this work really, really well. The takedowns, I feel like, are much smoother, much nicer than they have been in almost any other Far Cry game. I use them more than I did in 4 for sure. I didn't really use them in 4 for whatever reason. I used them a lot in 3, but I think that was mostly because they were new at the time. But in this game, it works really well because everything's close quarters combat. So it's definitely useful. And it's the little things that they do in the game. I feel like there was more animals in this game, more to be afraid of when you had nothing out in the wild than it was in 4. So once again, all these things help with this. It makes the game more playable. It makes the experience better, in my opinion. So if I had to stack rank, I still think 3 is the best Far Cry I've ever played, and then mostly because of the story. And then I think Primal is right there, especially because of the gameplay, the way that the things that they put in the game work with it, and then things like the graphics and stuff like that just work really well. And the map is huge, guys. It's ginormous. And then last but not least, 4. And 4 was a good game, but it felt like Far Cry 3.5, and it wasn't in as cool of a setting. So overall, if I had to give this game a rating out of 10, I would say it's an 8 out of 10, honestly. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Twitter and Facebook links will be in the description. The video you'll see on screen will be the last one I made, and deuces.